Okay, so we'll go through the system. So here's the two SolarEdge 11.2K inverters. Each is connected to approximately 45 solar panels. Each one has a little less than 15 kilowatts worth of panels to them. I don't believe any of the wiring or anything in here would be impacted. It's all the way coded, correct sizes to each one drives a separate generation panel, which we'll show here in a little bit. There are some of the panels, my west-facing ones, some south-facing ones, a whole bunch on the other side north-facing, and on top of this garage behind me is tons of them. But we're getting a little rain up here, flooding. See with all the rain and wind. But so here's the two disconnects from the two inverters that come along down here, and then we see we have 4 Tesla batteries, which is what I call the garage setup. And we've got 3 Tesla batteries here, which I call the house setup, sub-panels. And then, even though, man, it is really dark. In this sub-panel there are 2, that's the main 400 amp breaker with 2 200 amp sub-panels, or breakers, sorry. And then we've got, which again you can barely see, but there's 7 30 amp disconnects, 1 per battery by code. Here we have the setup of the, again, effectively there's one 200 amp sun panel, one here, which is what I call the garage, which encompasses all my mini splits, and then that's the house, and this is the garage panel. So basically, between the setups between those 2 gateways is about 8-9 feet. But this one here, which has 3 batteries, the middle is the generation panel, the right is automatic transfer switch from the generator. Obviously there's the gateway. So right now all the solar and batteries go into this generation panel, which in some ways makes it, everything's landed there, so it's just grabbing everything out of that, which you can see the wiring, big old tube on the top is where we drove that generation panel now into the Tesla. We didn't embed all that stuff into the Tesla gateway. Should have, but maybe this could turn out to be better not to have. And this is a slave ATS, which is part problem, so we've got a gutter box where things go back and forth between stuff. So this setup is the 4 batteries. Again, there's a generation panel where everything's into it, and then we go back across to the gateway and then the generation panel. So it seems that, again, don't fully understand how the stuff works, but it's just the wiring stuff in here. But we got generation panels already wired in that can be grabbed into something. We got the transfer switches already wired into the sub panels, which ideally could be just left alone again, since so again, it's the whole knowledge of what's happened at the 400 amp, which if we had a 400 amp gateway, then all this, none of this would have been this garbage. It would have been real easy. So here's visibly what I've got, and I can open up or take things apart if changed. I've sent you all the engineering drawings.